Last time we spoke, I asked you about how women reacted to you since the show's been on the air. This time I'd like to ask you, how do kids react to you? Do they expect you to have the dog with you all the time?
Yeah, that's usually the first question when kids see me is, "Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie?" And I usually say he's either renegotiating his contract or working out his tan, one of the two. If it's adults, I say I just barbecued him, but I don't think kids can handle that.
Now, when you decided to pursue an acting career, I mean, you weren't in your teens, you weren't in your 20s.
Right.
You were in your 30s.
Yeah, 37.
Did you find that there were a lot of people who were advising you against trying a risky profession?
Oh, yeah, because I had a very good job, and I'd been in it a long time, and so family and friends thought that I'd lost my mind, that it was to go from what I was doing to a profession where at any given time 95% of the union members are out of work. And but it's strangely enough, it's easier, at least for a man, the older you get. It's tough for women, but in this business, it's easier for men. There just aren't as many people going for the parts, and so I think I started at a good time. I don't know if I would have had the wherewithal to stick it out if I had started when I was younger.
And I'm not sure how to ask this question, is when I saw you today walking across the set quickly, you know, I was never quite sure if you actually did have a hip injury before.
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot from people?
Yes, I do. It's usually the first two things they say to me. You know, "Where's Eddie?" And, "Oh, it's nice to know that you don't really have a bad hand," because people do tend to think that I do really limp. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll turn to Jane now. I interviewed an actress not too long ago. I can't remember her name, but early on, she had worked as a solid gold dancer on the TV show, and she wasn't like embarrassed by that, but she didn't seem to want to bring attention to the fact that she was a dancer.
Right.
Now, you did dance, and you don't hide that.
No.
When you were dancing in rock videos, like what kind of videos did you have to dance, and what kind of stuff did they ask you to do?
Well, mostly the videos I did never made big hits, so they weren't that widely seen. But I did an Elton John video and that sort of thing. It's very hard work, and I would never sort of put dancing down because it's the hardest. It's harder than acting. I mean, it's a really tough job, a tough grind, day in and day out, you know.
Well, when you made the move to Los Angeles, your accent, did that work against you, or is that something you can lose on demand, or did it get you more jobs than you thought?
Well, I think it's a bit of both because, you know, I'd go up for roles that weren't specified English or American or anything, and usually I'd be the only English person they saw, so I'd sort of stick in their minds, and they'd go, "Well, we didn't really see it that way, but this kind of works." So it can work both ways, you know, and there were other parts I lost because of the accent, so.
Now, when you left Murphy Brown, I was a little upset because I liked you so much in that show. Was that a hard decision for you to do, whether or not you should, you know, leave for something that wasn't, you know, guaranteed to be a hit?
Not really, no, because I sort of had the thing where, you know, if this show didn't get picked up, I'm sure they'd have had me back on Murphy Brown, but so I didn't really have to make that decision. But reading this script, when I read the pilot for this, it wasn't really a tough choice at all.
I'm wondering, when you meet people in the street, how do men differ from women in the way they react to you? Are men quite protective?
No. I wouldn't say so,
Quite
no.
lecherous, actually.
No, that's not true. You know, they're very respectful, actually, and they come up and say, they seem to be able to differentiate between me and the character, and they come up and say, you know, we really enjoy the show, and do you know the dog? And so I think we all get that dog thing, you know.
And one final question is, how much longer is your character going to be able to hold off Niles, or will we ever see a romance develop?
Oh, I hope so. I don't know. They never let us know that stuff. You know, I think it's the sort of thing that we'll have to make some sort of move towards resolving it, or changing it a bit, maybe next season. Maybe he leaves Maris, maybe I start liking him. Who knows? That's what's fun.